As the world falls apart country by country and violence and unrest grow globally, we here at Cadbury want you to know we are still making chocolate. We will make chocolate till the last one of you is dead. Cadbury. Death won't stop us.
Welcome to Apocalypse Soon with Eddie Pepitone. On tonight's show, guided meditation, driving in the rain, Matt Friend, and now your host, Eddie Pepitone.
Yeah, the world is going to end, and it is ending rapidly, everybody. We are so happy to still be alive, though, here in the studio, and it is great to see everybody. We have our band leader here, the anti-vaxxer, Bobby and the Mephistophelians.
What's going down there, Eddie? Loving the hat today. Good hat game today.
You know, Bobby, I'm glad you brought up the hat. It is a cork hat.
Oh, yeah.
From Portugal.
That's nice. Did you make that with the wine bottles and whatnot?
No, Bobby, I am not a crafts person. I know that you like to make things with discarded syringes, even though you're an anti-vaxxer, which I find interesting. You collect syringes off of beaches.
Oh, a good syringe. You can make just about anything from a good syringe. You notice these earrings I'm wearing. These are beautiful. Beautiful dangly earrings. These were just a couple of old heroin addicts just left them out. And I took them up. For earrings.
Now, you're a kind of guy I think who's going to do well during apocalyptic life because you can make the best of any circumstance.
Oh, yeah. You
know, you find things, boom, you have a pair of earrings.
I've been living in the apocalypse for a long time. I mean, geez, I keep tabs on the dogs in the neighborhood in case I get too hungry. You know what I mean? You got to be on top of this stuff. It's getting wild out there, Ed.
Yeah. I just want to say, Bobby, that, you look great. I don't know how you keep such great health. I know that you don't like vaxes, you don't like vitamins, you don't. Oh no, you do like vitamins.
I love a good vitamin. I got a multi that I take. Sometimes I like to crack them open and snorting them like I'm doing something bad. But I'm just getting my B12s.
Well, it's great to see you. And let's now say hello to our producer and co-host Kevin Tinker.
Hey, how's it going, Eddie?
It's going good, man. We made it through some 100-degree weather.
Yes.
Here in LA.
It's nice.
More example of the climate breakdown.
Yep.
100 degrees, 2 days in a row in April, man.
Yeah, it was not good. I was sweating a lot. There was a lot of sweat.
Really?
oh yeah. And I'm so glad it's now back to being cold because I can put a jacket on. It's nice.
Yeah. It is just incredible how the weather is so all over the place. And I'm convinced, because I travel around a lot, that I am going to die of an extreme weather event. Yes, you heard it here first, folks. I am going to perish. And this will be played. This will be played on TMZ or Vox or one of those stations where where I die, and then they play this and say, wasn't he prescient or prescient?
An in memoriam where the deceased is screaming at the audience.
No, because I think that I'll be taken either by a tornado, a, what's that called, cyclone bomb?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or just getting rushed by people who are no bigger than 3'8". I'm talking about people, small. The small.
It's the small people.
The small will come after me. Okay, I know it to be true. It's either an extreme weather event or the small.
Yeah, I can also see you getting carried away by a flood somehow.
Well, getting carried away, first of all, is kind of a nice thing. Because, the image is people crowd surfing. When do they call that crowd surfing? When you jump into the mosh pit? Yes, I'm old. Yes, I still talk about mosh pits. and crowd surfing. Why? Because I have clogged arteries, and I want to take one moment to address a very important thing. Clogged arteries, okay? You have to unclog them yourself. We have to unclog our arteries ourselves by holding your breath and then letting it out. And when you let it out, you unclog the arteries. None of us have the money for angioplasty. Do you know what angioplasty is, Kev?
I dated her for a little while in the late 90s.
That's very funny. What Kevin did there was take a medical term and turn it into someone he dated, because angioplasty sounded like Angioplasty, an Irish gal.
Angioplasty.
Angioplasty. You better get angio home by 7 o'clock. But look, we have extreme weather. I feel like I'm going to die in extreme weather.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty on an airplane, perhaps. And by the way, there's got to be nothing more frightening than hurtling.
Oh yeah.
Hurtling toward your death.
It's not fun.
On a plane.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
you take a lot of planes too.
I take a lot of planes, and I think that's when a flight attendant really has to earn their stripes. They have to be like, "Sir, would you like a drink?
Yeah.
We are going down really rapidly." No, I mean, to the end service. Because if I'm on JetBlue, let's say, which has turned into a shitty airline, they're all shitty airlines at this point, and most of them would be cowering fear. The flight attendants.
Yeah.
Let me say this to flight attendants, men and women. When the plane is going down, nose first into the drink or onto land, and it's certain death, offer a fucking drink, flight attendant. Don't let the fact that we're all going to be dead soon stop you from doing your job, okay? If I want an extra pillow to cushion the blow, I expect it. Yeah. If I want, what else do people want? If I want to see the menu, I want to see the menu. If I want a drink,
a blanket,
I want a Diet Coke before I die. Yeah? You hearing me, flight attendants? Let's use this apocalypse. We're all going to die in extreme weather in one way or the other, or fascism. We're not sure.
Yeah.
We're not sure which is going to get us first, or just starvation or food riots, or, just tribal violence that is happening all over the globe.
We're going down.
And my admonition is to service people during these horrific times. Keep serving us. Keep serving us.
Please.
If you're a waiter or if you're a server, and we are sitting at a table and there is a horde of fascists coming to the restaurant, you still bring the salt. You still bring the sauce on the side. A lot of people I know like their sauce on the side. All right, I think that's good. We'll be back after this.
And now, Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone.
It was a hot rain. It was a hot night. I got into my car, my Uber, my Lyft, my Instacart, my DoorDash, my personal vehicle. The gig economy was a bitch. I was doing all those things. I was Ubering, I was Lyfting, I was Instacarting, I was DoorDashing. No benefits. Barely making enough money to keep the tires on the car. The rain was coming down. It was raining raining, raining. It was like a river had been turned on my head. I lit a cigarette and I thought to myself, man, I really look good tonight. Caught a glimpse of myself in the rearview mirror. I took a long drag on the cigarette and I thought about fucking myself. I thought long and hard about it, and then I realized, no, I don't want to make love to myself. I've got to make money, and I've got groceries here that need to go to a dame who lived in one of the biggest high-rises in the city. So I got onto the highway and I was driving. I was rain blind. The rain hit the windshield so hard, the plated glass buckled. It buckled like the buckle on a child's shoe.
Small buckle.
Buckled like Fatty Arbuckle. It buckled like 1-2, buckle my shoe.
Oh, yeah.
I got off on exit 48 like I always did. The groceries. I smelled the mozzarella cheese. I smelled the morel mushrooms that I had shopped for this dame who lived in the largest high-rise in the city. I smelled the caviar. I smelled the horseradish. I smelled a tissue that was covered in feces that I hadn't removed from the car. That really ruined the other smells.
Poo-poo tissue.
I got off at exit 48 and I headed toward the high-rise. I made a beeline. I made a beeline like a hornet, like a yellow jacket, like a honeybee, like a bumblebee. I went toward her apartment, and as I arrived, I put my car in park like I usually did when I arrived somewhere. When I was younger, I just jumped out of the car while it was going, but those days had passed me by. It passed me by like a fast train, like a bullet train, like a silver streak. It passed me by like a train that really, really was rolling, rolling, rolling.
Fred Durst.
Got out of the car, rain hitting my rain poncho. I tried to light a cigarette. I had the groceries on one of those carts provided by Instacart. They said that I am responsible for the quality and maintenance of the cart, and it already had a couple of nicks on it, and they already started to charge me and take it out of the app.
Dirty bastards.
Instacart. No union. No benefits. The gig economy was a bitch. I pressed penthouse in this high-rise, the largest high-rise in the city. I put my cigarette out on my forehead because there was no ashtray in the lobby, and I wanted her to think that I was religious, that it was some kind of Ash Wednesday BS. I got in the elevator and the music was playing loud. I looked over at the mirror in the elevator and I caught a glimpse of myself, and again I wanted to have intercourse with myself.
Dinner for one.
I decided not to have intercourse with myself because I did not want to clean up the elevator. I got off. She was waiting for me, and she was more beautiful than a frog who had been cared for by a very loving family, a frog that was a cared for pet. Not a frog that was abused, but a frog that was cared for. She was so gorgeous, she made one think of a sunset, not an industrial sunset, where there was smog that made it artificially pretty, but just a beautiful sunset, say off the coast of Maui. Maui, I'll never forget Maui. Maui was where I had my first cigarette, where I coughed as a child in Maui. There was a double rainbow in the sky, and someone passed me a Marlboro. And I remember double rainbow, and I was about 3. I started smoking young. But when I was 3, my lungs couldn't handle it. I started coughing and coughing and coughing. I said to her, here are your morel mushrooms. Here's your mozzarella. She looked at me with those frog eyes. She said, ribbit. I said, croak. I got in the elevator, got in the car, and I drove back into the rain. Rain coming down viciously, like Sid Vicious, like a vicious serial killer, like a vicious affair.
Thanks for joining us for Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone.
The new Chevy Silverado trucks are driven by angry, unemployed white men. We at Chevy wonder how they get the money to buy one. Then again, it's none of our damn business. Chevy. Drive angry.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today on Apocalypse Soon is the amazing Matt Friend. Matt, you're talking to us from Los Angeles, I believe.
Yes.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, I'm here. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. Me and Matt met on Roosevelt Island, and I know you think there's a story there.
Yes, I met on Alcatraz. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, Alcatraz, by the way, overrated. The food sucked. No, it really did. Have you seen the Zagat Guide for Prisons, Matt?
I have not, no. I haven't yet. Yeah.
Okay, 1 star Sing Sing because of the knifings. Like, they have a terrific chicken cordon bleu, but the knifings are they ruin it. You get stabbed during your meal, and everything is fucking ruined.
It really detracts.
It sounds
from your
unpleasant.
It
It sounds
sounds
very
unpleasant.
unpleasant. Yeah.
Well, Matt Friend is a great impressionist, and if I can ask you to go into Mitch McConnell mode, and we're going to talk to Mitch about the end of society. Mitch, how come you keep money from the poor? I mean, what's the fucking?
Yes.
What is the fuck?
Well, what you,
Go ahead, Mitch.
what you have to realize is, I'm that bitch, been that bitch, still that bitch. Scoobity boop boop, scoobity doo.
Mitch, I feel like you really didn't answer my question. You know, Kentucky, you breed racehorses.
Yeah.
You drink bourbon. Is that right? I mean, thoroughbreds.
Listen. there's a new Supreme Court justice, and there's a real danger because President Biden appointed not even an American, but an African American. Scoobity boom boom. Scoobity doo.
Are you a fan of jazz? It sounds like you are.
Yeah, he sounds like he's doing a little bebop.
Yes, I love bebop. My chins are causing extreme diarrhea.
Mitch, I feel like Kentucky will be. You have a beautiful smile. I feel like Kentucky will be one of the first places that people flee to.
We be fucking in Kentucky, yes. I love 69. 69.
Really?
Yes.
I find that a lot of work.
Yeah.
69.
Yes, well, yes. Well, you know what's even more work? Maintaining the space for more than 30 seconds.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Once you pass a certain age, right, Mitch? Okay.
Yeah, you know, Mitch actually just died 20 seconds ago, so I can't do him anymore.
Okay.
He's gone. Yeah.
Matt, you also do John Oliver, and not many people do John Oliver.
Yeah.
Let's talk to John Oliver.
Well, good evening, and welcome to the Eddie Pepitone Show. I mean, what the fuck? This is absurd. Thank you very much for having me. The only way this show could be even sexier is if Adam Driver walked into the studio and started licking my face.
Oh, John, it's good to see you. John,
it's great to see you as well.
Yes. John, your British accent, that isn't a put-on, is it?
Well, you know, it's not a put-on, but of course it's what I really fucking sound like. What the fuck? It's a ridiculous question.
You seem so passionate about so many things, John.
Mm-hmm.
Are you passionate? What happened, John? Oh, we have Howard.
I got to tell you, I
Howard Stern is with us.
We're talking about passion. You know, Robin knows a thing or two about. I got to tell you, I mean, the fact that you had John Oliver on before me, it's insulting. I mean, what the fuck are you doing? That's crazy.
Howard, you're very stridently against the anti-vaxxers. Can you talk about that?
That is true. I think we got to take these anti-vaxxers. We got to put them on a fucking Jeff Bezos' ship and ship them off to fucking Mars. Get them out of here. I don't want to see these pieces of shit. I don't want anything to do. The anti-vaxxers need psychotherapy and years of transcendental meditation because they're not thinking clearly. They're out of their minds. I don't want anything to do with these people. It's unbelievable.
Really? That doesn't sound very tolerant of you. I mean...
No, I have no tolerance for that. I don't have tolerance for stupidity. They're endangering our lives. You know, we're both of age. We got to be safe. We can't be risking that shit. That's crazy.
Are you saying I'm of age?
Well, I think we're similar, right?
Well, I wish you wouldn't make those assumptions.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little hurtful.
Jesus.
And you don't ask a lady his age. All right, look, Howard. Is your relationship with Robin Quivers a real
thing? We love Robin.
Thing?
She's the best.
I don't know. She never does anything but laugh.
Right. Well, that is true. And she's a great support system. I mean, you know, you're a comedian. You know, the laugh is the most valuable thing. Mm-hmm. Without the laugh, I'm nothing. I mean, I don't have an audience. So Robin is the one who's been keeping me going all these years. And I'm grateful. But I really am. Robin, we love you. Robin, can you say hi? Oh, she doesn't want to, but that's okay. We love Robin. She's not here.
I don't think she really
She didn't want to say hi.
Hey, Howard, I do guided meditations. Right. What's your...
Do you really? What do you use? What do you do? Headspace? What are you doing?
I'm using a guy named Gus Lobotomovich, who is a trucker,
really?
And his
so you're telling me that your meditation guide is an oligarch? I mean, Jesus.
He's a trucker. He works for a living. And how come you don't call out the oligarchs? You call out the people who are anti-vaxxers, but I never hear you call out.
You know, there's only so many issues I can weigh in on. You know, it's not like, you know, we do this show. I talk about them. This Putin's an animal. He's a psychopath. This guy is like Hitler. He's disgusting.
Well, that's a very brave
He's a murderer.
statement.
Yeah, very brave.
It's very brave.
You're going out on a limb about Putin. Do you know that Putin has a cameo you can get Putin to do cameos. Matt, do you know that?
What? Excuse me. We're talking about Putin.
It's Donald
And
Trump.
a lot of excuse me, Eddie. Just shut your mouth. A lot of people are saying that you're a very funny guy, and we love your style. But you look at Putin and what he's doing, and it's really something extraordinary. Because when you look at what's happening, with the Russians and China. And you see that it's totally unfair. It's totally unfair to say that he's in the wrong. We've been seeing he's a great guy. He's been doing a lot, more than anybody's ever been talking about. And that's a great question. That's a great question, honey. You're adorable.
Okay, Mr. Former President, I'm glad you came out. How come you're not in jail? How do you avoid jail?
Well, you look at jail. A lot of people are saying I'm in jail, but it's not true. I'm actually in jail, and I was in jail a few days ago. And we look at what's happening with the jails and the prison. We don't even have jails. The jails, they're closing in America. They're shutting down. There's no zoos. There's a shortage of zoos. And when you look at what's happening with the zoo shortage, you see that there's not enough animals. We talk about there used to be so many lions, a lot of zebras. And there's just none of that. And it's quite frankly, it's disgusting. You see what they're doing. The Democrats are moving the animals. And that's a horrible thing, Eddie. We see what they're doing, and no one's talking about that. It's really just not good. It's not good.
I feel like you didn't answer my question.
Yeah, he's really good at dodging those questions.
That's true. And we see about Dodge is a great car. We love Ford. We love Ford. And when you see what's happening with the Dodgers, we talk about baseball. We love baseball. We love Vin Scully. Vin Scully is a smart guy. We love Vin. They don't make him like Vin. We love Vin. He's a smart guy. We love Harry Carey. He was funny too. He was a drunk, and you look it out. My brother Fred. A lot of people are saying he died from alcohol, and that's why I don't do that. So that's interesting.
I know you don't. Yeah. I find that incredible about you. Actually, it makes sense that you're a dry drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's true. I do Zyrtec. We love Zyrtec, and that's just great for the sniffles, and that's the drug that I do. And we love Benadryl, and a lot of people say they cocaine down. They say I shit my diapers, and that's quite possibly not true. And
can you bring back John Oliver for 1 second?
Of course, I never left. What the fuck?
John, it's good to have you back. What is your take on the billionaires running the show here in America?
Well, first of all, it's a horrible thing. In America, the top 10th of 1% is running the show, which I'm sure would anger Bernie Sanders, who would go absolutely apeshit whenever you even mention the word billionaire. A B, an M, or a C for cunt. I apologize for swearing. Thank you very much.
You have a great show, John, on HBO, except I wish...
Hey, Eddie, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's Andy Cohen. I just have to say, you look amazing. Oh, my God, you're sexy. Yeah.
Who is this?
It's Andy Cohen. You know me. Come on, Bravo. Watch What Happens Live. Yes.
Oh, okay. Andy Cohen. Hi.
Andy Cohen.
Hey, Ed, how are you?
Thank you for saying I look good. I feel like I could have shaved today.
I think, is it just me? Anderson Cooper's here. Is it just me, or is he giving off DILF vibes? Yeah, he's a total DILF. Yes.
A DILF. Oh, okay. Is that daddies I'd like to fuck?
Yeah.
I've never heard the term daddies. I'd like
Eddie, I got to say, this is Barack Obama, and I know that I am kind of switching all over the place.
Hi, Barack.
I am giving off James McAvoy in Split vibes right now, but you have to know that I am grateful for the opportunity, and Sasha and Malia are big fans of the show, so we love you so much.
Well, thank you, Barack, and I hope you're enjoying your Martha's Vineyard coastal home while the rest of us are eating SpaghettiOs and beating the wolves from the door. And you're just such a man.
How did you know about the wolves? How did you know about the wolves?
Why, you like wolves? I love wolves.
I do. I love wolves, too. I do.
Good. Okay.
You know. By the way, Eddie, one thing. This is Rami Malek. I have to just say to you that I'm actually playing a wolf in my next film.
Oh, wow. I loved you on iRobot, by the way. You were so fucking
actually, sorry, it was called Mr. Robot.
Mr.
That's okay.
Rami, you seem to have a lot going on behind the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. You know, I have to say, you have left an indelible mark on the podcasting space, and you are so delectable. I mean, you're a delectable creature.
I just had Andy Cohen say that too.
Everybody's trying to fuck you today.
Yeah, well, I mean, I am wearing a cork hat from Portugal.
That seems to be the trend.
That's true.
That seems to be the Hey, Eddie, I got to say, it's Matt Friend here, by the way. How'd you get all these celebrities at the same time as me? This is crazy.
Well, Matt, you know, my booker, Kevin Tinkin.
Hey, Kevin.
He's very good at. He's got a Rolodex. He doesn't use the real.
Kevin
phone.
crushed it today.
He did, and thank you for coming on, by the way, and doing all those characters. And do you want to plug anything before we let you go?
Well, we love to plug. We love a butt plug, and
I do. I'm at the Matt Friend
At
on
the
Instagram,
Matt Friend. The Matt
and on
Friend.
Twitter and on TikTok, and I'm here in LA for a few more days. I'll be back in a few weeks. I hope to see you in person.
Yeah, I'm going on the road. I'm missing you, but I would love to maybe hang out at the Comedy Store with you.
Yeah.
I would. I just did it for the first time a few days ago in the Improv and the Laugh Factory. So it's been a crazy. But I did a friend's podcast yesterday, and he's like, you know what? You bragging to me that you did the Comedy Store, you mean nothing till you're a regular, okay? You mean nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's what the regulars have to say to make their lives validated. But it sounds like you're taking LA by storm and the world by storm. So thank you, Matt, for coming on. We'll talk
if
soon.
I could just say I'd like to just say two more things. This is Jeff Goldblum, and I'm a very big fan of Eddie Pepitone. Yes.
Jeff.
The Pepsi, Coca-Cola, yes. And one more impression. Yes, Sebastian Maniscalco. I got to tell you, Eddie why did you not invite me on the podcast? You had Andy Cohen. He doesn't even do comedy. That's bullshit. What?
Oh my God! The many faces of Matt Friends. Matt Friend. It should be Matt Friends. But Matt, you have to do a show like with one of those cliche titles called "The Thousand Faces of Matt Friend."
Oh, yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, we'd love that to get canceled after half an episode. That'd be fantastic.
Right. Hey, that's showbiz.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, guys, get a picture. I want to story this.
Okay.
Smile, guys. You guys are the best. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate
you, buddy.
it. I wasn't even
Thanks
myself.
for jumping in last minute.
Of course.
All right.
Thanks,
bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That was Matt Friend, everybody. Wow, what a crazy, in and out of characters. It was hard to keep up.
It's like a Sybil, an episode of Sybil.
Sybil is an old-time reference. Aren't there any newer, famous, multi-personality people?
Not any good ones. No, the Sybil still holds the cake.
You know what the thing about multi-personality people is?
Yeah.
Is that they hide it very well. They hide it very well. So there probably are more Sybils or Freds
Who knows?
out there.
Who knows? I could be one of them.
You know what? You just reminded me of an Emerson, Lake and Palmer song. Who knows? Who cares for thee? C'est la vie. All right, everybody. We will be right back after this.
And now, checking in with Al and Margret, a couple living inside Eddie Pepitone's head.
Margret, come here. I want to talk to you. I have some big news. Oh, Al, please. I hope it isn't bad news. Whenever you say big news, it scares me. Margret, this is the problem with delivering big news in general. Is that whenever you say to someone, I have big news, they immediately panic. Sorry, I burped. Why did you burp? I mean, because I'm drinking seltzer, and seltzer is carbonated water, and it gives me, gas. Well, what's the news, Al? I feel like you're avoiding the news with seltzer. Look, Margret, yes, a lot of people have avoided the news with seltzer. As a matter of fact, when FDR had one of his biggest speeches about the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, he actually put it off for 3 weeks because he was drinking seltzer. He should have delivered it 3 weeks earlier. You know what, Al? I feel like you're ridiculing me and making fun of me. I know that seltzer doesn't play that big a role in world history. Oh, really, Margaret? Do you know that before every Hitler speech, he purposely said no seltzer? He purposely said no seltzer, Margaret. Why do you always bring up Hitler, Al? You always bring up Hitler when you have big news. I'm sorry, Margaret, but let me get to the big news. Yeah, please. I mean, how much are we going to talk about seltzer, which is better for you than, regular club soda, because seltzer doesn't have salt. Margaret, why did you misspeak right there? You said sugar. Your mind's always on sugar, on cake. Your mind's on cookies. Your mind's on lollipops. Ow, how can you say my mind? Did you say mime? Did you just say mime? Are you seeing a mime? I'm not seeing a mime. Oh, really? Then how come your voice got that low? But no, I'm not seeing a mime, Al. I told you I had a crush on a juggler and a unicyclist very briefly when the Big Apple Circus came into town, but I'm not seeing a mime. Why are you always talking about apples? Why? Why are you always talking about big apples? Al, first of all, you said you had big news, and I only mentioned the Big Apple Circus because I had a very small crush on a juggler. Did you say druggler? Did you just say druggler? Are you into drugs, Margaret? Is there a drug problem? Maybe a little. What are you talking about? What drugs are you doing, goddammit? Well, I like to crush up some of my allergy medication and snort it and then take a hit of NyQuil and then take a small snifter of some very good brandy. And then I like to go to the department store and just kind of, act coquettish. Margaret, I feel like there's an emptiness in your life. And I feel like you're filling it with crushed allergy pills, snifters of brandy. Al, did you just laugh there in the middle of a very serious conversation about my addiction? Margaret, you know that we're really just two voices that Eddie Pepitone channels. I refuse to believe it. You've told me this before, yet we have rich and varied lives where I crush allergy medication and I snort it and I have a snifter of brandy and I have NyQuil and I go to department stores and I act coquettish. How can I do that if I'm just a disembodied voice of Eddie Pepitone? Margaret, you're in such denial about this, but one thing I want you to know is no matter how addicted you get to allergy medication, or for that matter, to just any kind of medication, and I'm not talking about opioids, and there's some great documentaries on the Sackler family. I just want you to know, Purdue Pharma, that is, Margaret. I know what it is. I'm in Eddie Pepitone's brain. I know he's done a lot of, research about Purdue Pharma. Margaret, you know that the reason Eddie has us in his head is because the world is coming to a fucking brutal end where nobody treats anybody right anymore. And I just want you to know I'm going to treat you right. Al, what is the big news? I got pesto sauce for the pasta tonight.
And that was Checking In with Al and Margret, a couple living inside of Eddie Pepitone's head.
Hey, everybody, thanks again for listening to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside. Now, if you want to help out the podcast, please become a Patreon member. It's very easy, and you get, all kinds of stuff, okay? And you also just get things first. And, we just had T-shirts sent out.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool with the Apocalypse Soon logo, which if you've seen it, it's me coming out of the water like, I forget, I think Martin Sheen did that character.
Yeah.
Marty Sheen! All right, so... please become a Patreon member at patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone. Another thing you can really do to help the podcast is to write a review. Please write a review. That sends people our way. Anything else, Kev?
Yeah, the review just really helps the algorithm. New people get to the show. And feel free to send us an email to eddiepeppodcast@gmail.com, and maybe we'll read your email live on the air. But yeah, that's it.
Ooh, okay. I've been getting a lot of hate mail and a lot of threats, threatening my family and threatening everything I love. And keep those coming. Okay, everybody. We will see you next time on Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.